Hey guys, I lost track of time, honey. Hold on one second. Let me check this over here. So I think it's officially safe to say that I will be coming over to YT um, you know, consistently starting tomorrow. I think it's also safe to say that it is in fact Friday and I probably will do a live a little bit later if I don't get the itis. I was supposed to go live yesterday, but I had got tired, so I didn't go. So this is why we're going live today instead of 3 o'clock yesterday. So let me see. As y'all come into the chat, show some love, hit the like button. We're, we're talking about Tommy the Gossip today. Tommy been on a rampage. And it's crazy. It's crazy work. Y'all can probably fill me in more than I could fill you in. But it's gotten real crazy. Nothing has changed and I ain't missed out on nothing. But I just want to come, and talk with y'all for a hot little second or whatever because it's been kind of comical to me. Um and it's always been comical. But I know a lot of people in the community have been kind of pissed off because it's a situation involving a married couple and Tommy the Gossip exposing it. So at times, it hits different. And I get it. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, people put their business out there on social media and people are going to talk about it. So you really can't, fault Tommy the Gossip for doing what he does best. That's his job. I just feel like when you put people in your business, they stay in your business. And Zai should not have got on to social media and told probably 100 other women who were probably married that she was sleeping with a married man. So it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Um, I don't get it. Don't want to get it. At the end of the day, it's commentary. Let me see something. I want to make sure that y'all got your notifications over here. Okay, so we're live on YouTube as well. I want to make sure. I think we are. Let me see. I don't see my live. Let me see here. Okay, we are live. We are live. Just want to make sure that we were live. I was trying to pull something up, but I can't find it. I'm not even organized today. But let me see. I'm trying to find it. I might have to look for it later. Yeah, but it's a really unfortunate situation. And I just hope that nobody gets hurt. You know, I did listen to the lady speaking to Zai on Tommy's live stream. And, she sounded like she was holding it together. But at the end of the day, how does one take it when you hear that, your husband sleeping with, because even Zai was saying to herself, that she sells herself for money. And you hear somebody saying, yeah, your husband's sleeping with me and he pays his hard-earned money that he should be bringing into the house. he's paying that to Zai. You know what I'm saying? Setting, bringing it home. So it hits different. You know what I'm saying? And I really feel like, respectfully, the lady could have really went to the left and got real ignorant. But it's at the same time, for what? Because you have to, check the man. At the end of the day, you really do. You can't really be all mad at her. You got to also be mad at him. So, they both played equal parts in it. So you got to check them both. You know what I'm saying? But I think it's messed up because Zai knew he was married. It wasn't like it was a secret. So it hits different. That's how I look at it. But I hope things work its way out. I'm not like in the business of saying, oh, I hope they get a divorce. I hope they work it out. If they don't, I hope it doesn't, mess up the dynamic. But that's crazy. But honestly, I don't know, because somebody had asked me, how did the lady find out? I have no idea if Tommythegossip spoke about it or if Zai exposed it. I just know she knows, and it's crazy because it's all over social media now. So I really don't understand how something that's Zai's doing on the back end is getting in the hands of commentators, and this woman's business all over social media. He's telling her one thing when he's at the house with her, and then telling Zai something. And allegedly, he bailed Zai out of jail. So obviously, they made some type of connection, and but it doesn't seem like the woman's in denial about it. Some women try to blame the woman, and she'll make it seem like the woman's lying on her man. You know what I'm saying? And then it tells the story of why he's probably doing it in the first place, because you're in denial. You're gonna stay with them, and then you're gonna protect them as soon as the woman tries to expose him that he's cheating with. So I'm just glad that the lady's not doing that. She's in her truth. It's probably not the first time or the last time, and it happened. Hey Nisi, how you doing? You the first one into the chat. How are you doing? Happy Friday to everybody. Also the ones that are in the bushes, because I do see the number. So there are people in the chat, whether you're participating or not, you're here. We'll probably go live a little bit later because it's kind of early. People are probably at work and on lunch and whatever. And I'm just coming on here because I was supposed to go live yesterday at 3, but I had got tired, so I just said I'll come on today and speak about it. Like with me, I'm not even on here as a commentator, even speaking on it on some, ooh, child, girl, let me tell you, this is everyday life, honey. And there's nothing that any commentator can get up here on live and tell you about this situation that you have not already heard or experienced in your own life. So this is really just a conversation, catching up with my peoples. Real talk. I'm doing fine. How are you doing? I'm doing good. Ain't really been on the YouTube side that much, Nisi. So I'm trying to get back consistent. So I was checking in today because I wasn't able to come on yesterday. But it's a lot of noise lately been going on in the YouTube sector. And I honestly thought that it kind of sort of quiet down now that Shamar is booked and busy. But yeah, people have found other avenues and other ways to stir up distraction and stuff. But in a way, I kind of feel bad for the lady. I don't know her from a can of paint that was put in this situation with the man that she's been with for years. And allegedly they have like a 21-year-old child together. So they have history. And it's just sad how some men will throw that all away just for the moment. And it's just really crazy. But I'm also, mad at 𝗧 because I feel like, I know you're trying to get out there as far as social media. You want to be the female Tommythegossip, in the sector. um so any means necessary, even if it involves you telling your own business, you'll get up here and do that. But you don't realize how many other people are affected by that. This dude has a whole family. And even though he should know right from wrong, sometimes we as women, when we're doing stuff with these men that we know are married, and he was married, you should do the right thing. It doesn't matter what he ain't doing, that's not the right thing. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, who am I to say what is right and what's wrong? Because obviously 𝗧 knew he was married and she went along with it. So it is what it is. But I always say people that do stuff like that, it just really tells the character of the person. That's all it tells me. That's why I always say my mother had an old saying. I'm quite sure she got that saying from somebody, and I say it now. When I come, if I'm not there and you come knocking at my door and I'm not home, you better not be sitting there on my couch waiting for me. It's not even that important. You can just, if my husband says I'm not home, you can just say I'm coming back. You just don't know who you can trust, man. You really don't. And she's not friends with the lady, but it's just, even if you don't know the lady, you would just think, just out of respect for another woman, that you wouldn't even go there. But people do it. People do it. That's some crazy work. And then people want to look at you like you crazy when people flip out, and folks get unalived and stuff. You know what I'm saying? You don't know how sometimes people are gonna take that. You sitting up there doing some disrespectful stuff like that, you know. But like I said, it's 50-50 to blame both parties. You can't sit there and just blame her and not him. They're both, adults, and they both was being real, selfish, doing what they did. So it's out there. Allegedly, the dude's not really trying to contact 𝗧. That's typical man behavior when they get caught. But hopefully, he stays over where he's at. You know what I'm saying? And then this, gets nipped in the bud, and people move on from this, because lives are affected. We can all day look at this as commentary and entertainment, but for some people, this is real life, and you don't know how people are going to take it and what they're going to do with the information. So I just hope things work out for the better for everybody, especially children that are affected by this. So I don't know, but that goes crazy. But that's exactly what happens when you put people in your business. I think that 𝗧 honestly spoke about it because she wanted the public to know. She wanted the information to travel, and it traveled to the right people and got to the wife. So I hope that 𝗧 is watching her back, because when you live that type of lifestyle where you're cutting people's throat literally, and doing disloyal stuff, you know what I'm saying, you got to watch your back, because people can take you out of here. I feel like that kind of disrespect is not tolerable, and you can get hurt behind that. You know what I'm saying? And this world is a different world. And people, have taken, unalive people for less than that. You know what I'm saying? So this ain't no game when it comes to your life, and messing with something that's not yours. So I don't know. But we'll see how it plays out. And the other day I had got up early, and Shamar, I guess, couldn't sleep, and I had recorded like 2 hours of him on Instagram. He had went live like 2 times, and the live had ended, I think, like 45-minute mark. So I must have missed like the first 15 minutes when he went live, because I guess you can only be on the live some channels for an hour, then it resets and it cuts you off. Um, but he started the live back up, and I recorded that too, but I just really didn't have time to really edit it and stuff, because you can't just be slapping up videos and they got all kind of cussing and all kind of crazy stuff going on. So, that's where I'm at with that. But I might later on, if I'm in the mood, because I haven't been, editing long versions of videos. So I kind of sort of, honestly speaking, got lazy. So if I'm in the mood, well, I don't really have to edit now. I have, software that does it. But if I'm even in the mood to even put it in the software and then double check it still to make sure that the cussing and profanities out the video, then I'll put it up. But if not, it is what it is. But it all depends on how I feel. And if I feel like doing it, then we'll put it up. And I'm trying to see if um people can see me live over here on Facebook side. I don't see anything. I don't see anything. So I don't know. All right, here we go. Here we go. Hi, Black Chocolate 67. How are you, sweetie? I don't know what just happened, but the screen went on a blackout. It does that from time to time. So yeah, I may have messed up this live because I did schedule it for 3, and I had rescheduled it like 2 minutes before 3 yesterday. That don't really do good for your live streams when you do that, especially when you ain't been active in a while. It really does not help. But I'm gonna still go live a little bit later, but at least people will see the replay, so either way you guys will see it. But yeah, I was just definitely coming on to catch up and to talk about this mess and stuff. To me, it's funny because, like I said, some things are just common sense. Me personally, I'm on social media. I do commentary on social media. This is my job, place of, business. But, you got to pick and choose your battles and who you share your information with. And I feel like no matter how many problems one may have, social media is just not where you bring it to. So you kind of sort of set yourself up. Hey, Denise. Hey, sweetie. Did you get your notification, Denise? You kind of sort of set yourself up for the drive-by, you know what I'm saying, when you just get up on here and just be reckless with it. And you sitting up there, you're a grown adult, you're talking to people you don't know in real life, and you're telling them that you're sleeping with a married man. That goes crazy. That goes crazy. And you can also set somebody crazy. You really can trigger somebody into saying, no, this MF did not just get up here and say that she slept with my husband. So to me, I think that people get content and reality mixed up sometime. And I've seen, not even in this sector, but just in general, people take content too far and they ain't here now. So that's the only reason why it went. It just was crazy when I heard that, when I heard 𝗧 yesterday literally telling his wife that she was sleeping with her husband. She was proud of it. So I said to myself, that go crazy. Yes, I don't know if 𝗧 was drinking. I'm trying to give her the benefit of the doubt. Maybe she was under the influence, and even if she did do that with the woman's husband, maybe she added extra because she was like just like putting it all out there. And you can't get mad at nobody's wife for speaking up about their husband. And that's what kills me when I see like similar situations. The woman's getting mad at the wife, or the woman that was there before her, and you're more mad at the woman than you are with the man. It's crazy. It really is crazy work. You more mad at the woman than you are with the man. You sleeping with her husband, mad at her like it's your husband. Like, how does that work? That's crazy. So I don't know. I really believe if she get a hold of 𝗧, it might not be, it might be a wrap for her. I don't even want to get into it. But yeah, that you just too bold for me, boo. You doing too much. You know what I'm saying? But I always say it's people that really got to get it together. 𝗧, she living in a motel. She's a young girl. She can get out here and work. And, she just taking too much of her, time doing the wrong thing. And, you gonna mess around and catch a bad one like that. You really are. That's some crazy work. Yeah, but I'll be back over here consistently starting tomorrow. It's safe to say that. I've been saying that all last month. I was coming back, being consistent. But yeah, I had some other things I had to take care of on the back end. But I definitely now will be coming back. Now, if you don't see me all this month, which you should, everything's back aligned. That's just because I'm being lazy. Because everything that I had to do, I did last month. So I should be back full time tomorrow. And like I said, if you don't see me back full time tomorrow, it has nothing to do with because I had anything to do. It's just that I'm being lazy. I got to get back into the swing of things. Because once I, be off of social media or YouTube for too long, I get lazy. And it probably comes from burnout and not realizing that I was burning out. And then when I have to go back to the reality that I gotta, time to make the donuts, I don't feel like I'm coming back. So that's the only way you guys won't see me tomorrow. But yeah, I'll definitely be doing more lives, maybe 1 or 2 a day, instead of doing pre-recorded videos, just to, like cut the slack of the editing and all that stuff, because that can take some time. And I just rather just go live and kick it with y'all. So make sure y'all are hitting the like button on the YouTube side, and supporting the channel on the Facebook side as well, because we are live streaming from Facebook and YouTube and stuff. So make sure y'all are hitting the like button. It's free to like. It is free to like. Yeah. So I'm about to get off, and I will definitely be back on. I'm just, coming in. And I apologize for not going live yesterday. I know there's a confusion, but I'll definitely, if I'm planning on going live tonight, not late tonight, but in the afternoon, later on in the afternoon, I'll make sure that I'll schedule it today, but it'll be scheduled where you'll have time enough to get your notifications so you guys can come over and join. So love y'all. Stay blessed, and I'm out. Bye for now. Mwah.